Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson, channeling the man of the moon. Today, I'm going to take a look at three things. First of all, Letitia James or Fani Willis, who will nail Trump first. Second question is DeSantis. How can we defeat him? And the third question is Putin versus Zelensky. I'm just interested to know what is on the horizon for Ukraine. So let's start with Letitia James versus Fani Willis. To both of you, I apologize in my video with Sheila. I made an error. I couldn't remember who was which. My apologies to you both. I sometimes have confusion when I'm doing this work. So just for everybody, Letitia James is in New York. Fani is in Georgia. Two totally separate cases. One, and that is with Letitia, is a financial case. It is not potential prison sentence per se. Fani Willis, on the other hand, is investigating some serious crimes. Let's take a look, first of all, at those two. And I want to say, these guys are not really in competition here. It's pretty awesome to see, first of all, two women, second of all, two African American women really showing their power. So let's start with Letitia James. Well, I get Letitia James smiling, and as I see Fannie Willis over here, she looks quite serious. She doesn't look defeated, but she looks very, very serious. So we're just asking right now which will come first. It doesn't mean that one will succeed before the other. So Letitia James is smiling ear by ear. And look, she's doing a math problem, and she's just showing, this is easy. It's just math, not your opinion. You can just look at the math and see, hey, this is the problem, and the average person will understand it, whatever their political background. It's kind of hard to deny math. So that's, I think, why she's smiling, and understand that also, it's less serious, but it is necessary. It's quite terrible. At the worst, Trump's going to have to spend like $1.7 million, even if, they completely convict these guys. It's just laughable, the incredibly small punishment that happens for, thousands and thousands of companies that are cheating on their taxes. But that's the system that we have. One thing is, Letitia James is showing, that it's not just Trump, but a lot of people who there's nothing stopping them from cheating on the taxes. The punishment is so light, they'll still make money. So, but it is very important. It's important to show people the truth and show people how Trump and others cheat on their taxes and how easy it is for them to get away with it. Let's take a look again at Fanny. She's kind of putting her hands on her head. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Don't forget about me. Now, again, she's serious. She's very serious. She is, like, hey, it's not so easy. If other was straight up math, this is like a crazy spreadsheet. Okay, what else is she showing us, Fanny? She shows up with like a epee sword, and that's what she's using as her pointer. So this woman is a very determined person, and I can just really see she's really worthy of our respect. She's serious. Again, it's very important for people to show up like this, for people to show up and let everybody know that, we are not weak. We can be very strong and serious and direct. And, we're not going for all the media fanfare. We're just doing the right thing. And it's very useful for us to know. She is empowering for a lot of people. Again, she believes in her mission on a very high level. Yeah, and this is a greater form of justice. Remember, it's about our election. And she is able to hold some politicians like Lindsey Graham to account. So I'm seeing kind of little circles going from her head, like golden circles kind of out into the universe. It's like it has a feeling of being much more divine, like being a more, a woman really led by spirit, if you will. What else you gonna show us? She just keeps watching, she just keeps looking. And that's really important again. It just, she's watching. It's like people know that there's somebody who's watching, somebody exposing the truth. Both of these women are doing that, and we really owe a lot of commendation for them. You notice they're not on TV every day screaming about how wonderful they are. They're just there doing their job. Let's see. Anything else we get from Fanny? Hmm. She takes a buckle and like a car seat, and she's just like, "Buckle up!" It's like gonna be an amazing ride. I'm not prepared yet to tell the outcome. I don't think that's completely known. But remember, the process is a very important one, which will bring people to the truth and will set a precedent for holding people accountable. I feel confident in her work that she's going to do that. So I think that Letitia James may be first in terms of success in concluding her trial, if you will. But I'm not going to underestimate either of these people. Both of them are very focused on their job, and that is to be commended. So, what was next? DeSantis. How can we defeat DeSantis? Now, there are some people out there some great readers out there who have seen that DeSantis, despite a major lead, is not going to succeed. I am a little bit curious about that, but that's not what we are here to find out right now. Maybe. Well, let's see. What's DeSantis's near outcome? He's getting very angry, which makes it look like he keeps trying to draw a line. He's like, oh, here, stop here, stop here, stop here. He looks quite frightened, actually. I see his lead shrinking, and it's surprisingly close. I can't say if he's going to lose or win. It's going to be really close, though, much closer than people think. So it's crazy because I see for a moment, I see DeSantis. I'm looking like he's won, and then I see disappointment. Again, I'm not sure this is entirely certain. I'm not going to maybe go further in this video because it is important just to think about defeating him in the short and the long term. So let's look at short term. What should people do to defeat him? Obviously, they should vote, but what about the left? How can they make this a political win? Just keep saying it like it is. Keep saying the truth. There's just lots of hot air because of the modern forms of media. And the hot air is it's attractive. People get distracted by it. It's very emotional. But after a time, people just get worn out with that. And when they have real problems, they need real solutions. And I'm just seeing really calm the eyes of like Varnock, just a very calm person who's trying to solve the problems, just coming up with policy. It's not all drama, it's just policy. This might seem like a lost cause, but I believe over time, I'm just thinking, we might have an initial success in DeSantis, but then as things move on, as the hot air just becomes a little less interesting, people will come back to authentic and real problems, real solutions. And that's what Dems need to highlight against DeSantis, that this is hot air. and that they have real solutions to real problems, and that they're thoughtful, and that they're not attacking people personally. It is hard to accept that we should play on the good side, but eventually people will come back to people who solve problems. So I don't think that them should be quiet. They should be as loud as possible. They should keep highlighting and attacking the failures of people like DeSantis. A huge number of people died of COVID in Florida. That's directly as a result of DeSantis. So, but don't believe the media on these issues. You're being fed a lot of nonsense in the media. It's not accurate. A lot of that is just big money pouring into, TikTok ads. It's not necessarily real or reflective of what's really going on. I feel like people are just becoming jaded. After years of listening to this fabulous news, they're starting to get back to a reality. So, and what about DeSantis in the long term? It's strange. I see like DeSantis in space, and it's kind of like lasers are going from him to other candidates. And, he gets further and further out into space. I think that his relevance, his rhetoric, just becomes less and less important. This is important to know for our future, for anyone, looking at the youth of today. They need to know when they're being fooled, and when the media is distracting them, and when the media is informing them. That's just something that has to happen over time. And it might seem frustrating to us, but that is what the next generation or this generation must figure out in order to really thrive as a society. This is going to happen because we need this to survive. It's just a question of time. So keep working on the reality is my pick from this. Keep working on the truth. Function always from the truth. Don't be quiet, but always attack from the side of the truth. All right, last question is Putin versus Zelensky. We often see Putin leaving. I'm just gonna see if this is the case. Yeah, and again, I see blood splattered on Putin's face. I don't know if this is his end. It might just be the deaths of others that reflect on his face. And it is, it's like he's splattered. So, Spirit, what does this mean? I literally see Putin walking off into the light. And it's like almost like he's saying goodbye. He doesn't seem so reticent to go, actually. He seems kind of tired, like he's ready to leave. Yeah, the strain of all of this is really taking a toll on Putin. He will go. That's what I get. He will leave the planet. He will go. One way or the other, he will go. Any way to know how he will go? Generals, I see people plotting. One of them has a gun. They're putting in the hands of a sort of regular soldier. Yeah, they basically said, look, we've had enough. We can't continue with this guy anymore. He's going to drag us all down. And there are those who are still afraid of Putin, but nobody supports him. Nobody at this table is like, no, he's great for the economy. Nobody says that. They are all against him. It's just a question of who is brave enough to plot and who is not. All right, so let's take a look at Zelensky. He's doing really well. Ticker tape parade. Look, if this could have, there's nothing that could have solidified his sort of support moving forward. Nothing else could have done this. This is the best thing that could have happened to Zelensky. And I'm not saying that he is happy about this. I don't believe that he is. But ultimately, this has brought the world attention to his nation and a nation of Ukraine. And so this is a good thing. A bunch of people now care about what happens there. Again, ticker tape parade and new beginnings. It's like everything's going to be wiped clean. They're going to start again. And you get the feeling like, there's a lot of corruption in Eastern Europe, that people will be more closely monitored. Is that will be his next battle, is to end the corruption. But if he can mobilize sentiment against an invader, then he can mobilize sentiment against those who would undermine the country. It's about justice. I'm seeing like the scales of justice. That's what's really going to be focused on. And again, I think in a sense, this war has helped people focus on the idea of justice and what's right or wrong. So let's see if there's any advice just for Ukrainian people. Media, just keep showing the media. You gotta put, the more videos you put out, the better, and let those people speak for themselves. Don't put in a lot of commentary on what's happening. The robotic commentary is not helping you guys. Interview people, hear it from their words. Find anybody who's an eyewitness and let them speak and get emotional. That's what really moves people, along with videos about the truth of how the Russian soldiers are being treated. Some of those videos will get back to Russia. Yeah, this is a new kind of war. It is a media war. And if you can get the world to back you, then there is success. It is all about persuading the average person. And this can be done through a continuous media assault. This should be as important as fighting. This is Universe's advice for people in Ukraine. For a moment, everybody, send your love and support for those people who are moving towards justice all over the planet. You may not know who they are, but I would ask right now that you just send from your heart love and support for those who wield justice. Thanks so much for watching.